Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. Before we start off with today's discussion, 3 p.m. today being Sunday, where will you be? Yes, don't forget, all road leads to Jesus Breathes Ministry for ITV and radio, 9 lessons and carols. You don't want to miss any part of it. You have to be there to really get to listen and learn, or to understand the reason behind the season. Hence ITV Radio, in conjunction with Jesus Breed Ministries, they are bringing to you 9 lessons and carols. So by 3 p.m., that is when the show will start off. No African time. You step in, 3 o'clock, we've started. Okay, so I'm going to get the spiritual refreshment and, of course, to get to know the spirit behind this season. Do not miss it. We are waiting for you. But right now, let's dive into what is happening in the nation. Okay? I know the people are so eager to know what is going on in Edo State. I want to save it after this one. So talk about the 2024 election and primaries and all that. But before that, a judgment was given by the Supreme Court, and that did not sit down too well with some disbanded members. They are talking tough, saying the judgment given because of Nnamdi Kanu is not fair, because he's still there in prison. He needs to answer for the act of terrorism. Don't forget his podcasts, his broadcasts. You get to hear some words this guy was saying to some persons in the East to burn down the zoo, destroy this, destroy that. And he was extradited from Kenya forcefully, brought into Nigeria to answer for crimes against the Nigerian nation, against humanity. He's been there for a while now. They've been coming for his release, saying that the Supreme Court will see to the fact that he's been held, his fundamental human rights been eroded. But the justices in their wisdom said, look, bringing him out or dragging him away from Kenya, Nigerian government was so harsh for doing that. It is wrong. But for the issue bordering on terrorism, he is going to answer for it. There's no way he can escape that. There have been reactions trailing this particular judgment. With me here in the studio to talk about this, you get to hear put food on the table. You will not hear about these things happening. Give me to welcome Okoro Osahon Obari. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition. I appreciate the comment.
Compliment of the season, yes.
All right. So very close to him. He is a youth mobilizer, a politician, an entrepreneur. Samuel Ehigato, a.k.a. Aras. I call him the guy that speaks truth to power if he wants to go all out. But sometimes I like being diplomatic. So hope you watch your emotions today.
Definitely.
All right.
Good morning, Wilson.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
All right. We're expecting the likes of a Sosa here to come join us in the studio. Then we'll get to mention also Barrister Patrick Isekwene. When they come around, definitely we have more persons to throw more light on these topical issues. The judgment by the Supreme Court on Nnamdi Kanu. Did you see it coming? Let me start off with you, Osahon Okoro Obaraye. What do you feel about the judgment?
Thank you so much, my brother Wilson. I think the judgment that was delivered by the Supreme Court for our very brother Nnamdi Kanu was a judgment in the right direction. The reason is because you cannot, Nigeria is not a lawless nation or a country where somebody can just tell you this is what you should do or declare or assess power to his or herself without following the normal procedure. I'm also aware that not just before the very just now, you were aware that on Mondays or whether Tuesdays, there was this sit-at-home order in the Southeast. And these decisions was being reached by individuals coming out to say, you will not do this. This is their government here. And you cannot have 2 drivers in a ship. Nigeria already is being piloted by a recognized, laid-down procedure, a president we elected for, who, even before declaring public holiday or sit-at-home order, has to pass through procedure. The National Assembly, FEC meeting to say, okay, this, due to the security situation in this area, I think there should be a sit-at-home order in this arena. Then an individual will just come out to tell you, no, we are indigenous people of Biafra, which also the government too has prescribed to say it's not known to law. They've told you that. So since they've told you it's not known to law, whatever you do against it, it's at your own peril. Well, you did not also say because it's not known to law, maybe you should be using it to help the society, clean the drains, helping control the traffic, doing your own civic responsibility. So the government will look at it to say, okay, this is a good body in the right direction. But you people ended up in making sure that the smooth development that was ongoing in your region became so scary and fearful. Why people didn't want to go to Southeast any longer. Election is coming, you put threatening, brainstorm to say it will not hold. And I'm sure you saw it on internet where people that didn't obey their sit orders were being sometimes shot or manhandled. It was happening, and you cannot have a reasonable government who should sit down to watch things happening and saying this should just continue. And at the end of the day, you were doing this, you were not in the place to also feel the pains your people were feeling outside the country. So, and the government said to say, okay, if we cannot now start going against, we've tried our best to go against, to go for the lieutenant and maybe the corporals and the sergeant. Why not let us go for the general? Since the general, the field marshal, lives in the place called Earth and not in Moon, it can be found. And at the end of the day, the government on its own looked for a way, captured him and brought him back to the country. To say, okay, the issue we stopped, the issue generated more killing, more disturbance. And at the end of the day, the government has said, come and answer those things you sat down, those declarations you made. Because we should not shy away from the truth, not to exaggerate it. I'm sure, let's say over 50 persons have lost their life in this issue. That you jokingly or drunkenly said your people should go ahead. There are ways you should fight for liberation. Like you cannot sit down to say, I want to stand up here now and pull wishing away from the chair. So the government will not just allow you get it. It followed procedure. If you people were going through a court process up till now continuously, I'm not sure people will say, kill him, no. But you took vengeance on your own hands to say, no, you must do this. You know what it takes for you to say people should not go to work. And a constituted government in that state, in that region, we are obeying it until some said, okay, we no longer obey. Are you getting that? So now the government has said, Nigeria government, you didn't bring it well, but this man has a case to answer. And you cannot, Iran, before now, he was arrested. The reason why it's going to be hard now, he was arrested and he jumped bail. A serving senator stood for him before now. Yeah. And before you could say Jack Robinson, he was nowhere to be found. And he continued outside the country with this type of issues. So you cannot allow the government now or the court holding to that person which did not come on his or her own. They pursued that person, caught that person, and brought that person to a place, say, stay here and answer your case. And you now say they should free that person the second time. Then, for whatsoever reasons, for whatsoever issues, which they did before, and it jumped bail. Nigeria might not be a lawless country, and whichever we want to define the place called Nigeria. But there are things that still goes. I must tell you the truth, Wilson. If a policeman comes to you and tell you you are arrested, and you know that your files are clean, and he says, follow me to the station, and you follow that policeman almost immediately to the station, the possibility of you getting justice is 50% already. 50% already. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Because what the senior police officers are going to ask Did he refuse arrest? Said no, he followed us down here. At the end, waiting, if they want to say, look for somebody to bail you, you cannot bail yourself because you did not first of all argue. But for you to say, no, leave me, I'm not going to agree today, and the police will now say, this person, if we leave this person,
like John Bale.
Yes, so there are issues we need to also follow. Right. Also now know that from his own, a son has been born now. There's also another one now.
Yes. We'll come to that.
Yes.
We'll come to that.
You cannot allow a government now leave this person that started it to also when they have another one they're also looking for.
Okay.
So the thing is modeled up.
Okay.
A government cannot allow a government rule. Just the way my father said at Wingo some time ago, that there cannot be a market inside a market.
There can't be a market inside a market. I'll come back to you, Barai. I'll come back to you. Well, Samuel, you heard him. He said it's quite moderate because of his antecedents. At first, he jumped bail, putting a senator in Abia State, Naya Baribe, in serious mess because he was the one that signed a shorty, and the senator was dealt with. And we are faced with the same situation. I thought there was a truce already saying that, fine, they'll stop all this sit at home. They are going to stop any form of harassment of people as long as they release their Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Right now, the reverse is the case and are beginning to rear their ugly heads to challenge the government of the day, saying they're going to reinforce the sit at home order. What do you feel about this?
Thank you very much, Wilson. You know, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is a matter of national interest. That you have to understand. And when there's a national interest, it is very, very difficult for we common citizens to really interfere or reflect much on it. Because when we say national interest, there's something very important there you have to understand. This man threatened the government of Nigeria. And this man and his people, his followers, have been threatening the folks of Nigeria. They have been killing the folks of Nigeria, terrorizing the Nigerians, irrespective of where they are, whether in the east, they are Nigerians. And the nation found it necessary that this man must be brought to book, after proscribing the indigenous people as a terrorist group. Now, if a government declares you as a terrorist group and proscribes you, automatically we expect that anybody that associates with that association is against the government. So, even in the US, most times people say, this cannot happen in abroad, this cannot happen. I listen to many statements in the social media about the decision of the Supreme Court. Then I ask many people, where is the abroad we are talking about that this cannot happen? In America, which is over 165 years of democracy, there are hundreds of people that are out of the national interest of America are kept in Guantanamo Bay without court, without lawyers, without even judgment. Why? Because they are dangerous to the nation. Nnamdi Kanu is nothing else. We should leave sentiment about situation that he's trying to fight for the freedom of what freedom? The same people you said you want to fight for their freedom, these same people you are destroying their economical livelihood, these same people you're killing on the street, these same people you maltreat them on the street, threatening their life, these same people you make them not to come back home as usual, because many Igbos, it's well known, build their most best home in the East, in their homes. But I will tell you today, majority of the Igbos, millionaires and billionaires, they don't even go back home. I was reading through something yesterday that this year, 90% of the Igbos are not going home. Instead, the whole buses that they used to go home, they are putting loads and send goods to their families. Is that progressive or retrogressive? So what is the aim of saying you want to fight for freedom for people and you are putting the same people in this more mess? Like my brother earlier said, if you look at the judgment, it lightly and clearly shows that if Nnamdi Kanu is free today, he will also run again.
He will also run again.
Yeah. So in that capitulation and understanding, because he have done it before, and the laws of Nigerian explicitly say those that can be granted bail are those that you can be sure will not travel out or will not jump bail. But if you have done that, automatically become against the law. So you don't expect to grant the bail the second time. So the Supreme Court judgment, I believe, is based on the national interest to safeguard the Nigerian interest and the government interest, in whichever we see it, and for the benefit of Nigerians. Because I even wishes that the where is reading
to be captured also
should also be captured and also be jailed and added to him. And many of his commanders that have been arrested should remain in jail. Because we see what happened recently after the raid in Imo State and in Enugu State, you see that most of these actions of Monday reduced. Because it was like just too rampant that people carry arms on the street on Monday morning, searching for citizens like you, searching for the same people you want to grant freedom to, that you are claiming liberation for. You use gun to shoot them, use cutlass to beat them up. These same people you claim you want to fight freedom for. It's totally contradictory.
All right.
It's very contradictory. So the decision, I believe, is based on national interest, and it is well done.
It's well done.
It's well done to the interest of Nigerians.
Okay. But don't forget that there was like a truce, sort of, so to speak. It got to a point, hold on, I'll come back to you. It got to a point that IPOB, so to speak, to be prescribed rather, started dancing to the tune of the federal government. On their own, they're trying to checkmate the activities of alleged loyalists of Ikbia, telling them, please, there should be peace in the land. No more seats at home. All in the hope that they're going to release their Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to them. Right now, it wasn't done. Do you see turbulence in the southern eastern part of Nigeria, Obarai?
We see. Pray not to have problem with government. It should be your first prayer in the morning before praying for your normal self. Pray that God don't let me have any problem with government. Because after God Almighty is government. You know, government can make the place, Kanu State, become once upon a time to just wipe off history. But
for years they've been challenging the government of the day, and they were succeeding.
Yes. I say pray not to have problem with government. Yes. You go and ask Abiola family, they will tell you what it takes to have problem with government. Go and also ask the people that live at Nnamdi, where Obasanjo declared, go and ask them what happened with you people and government. So they will tell you if it's good to have problem with government. What government is also looking at, is also looking at that it's not yet time. Praying for government to have your time. If government have your time, you cannot fight war with government. Can the minute people don't tell you they can defeat the military? If Nigeria government can help other countries fight war, how can minute also disturb? So it all boils down to politics. You can also tell government that this is how you want it. We will not do this again. Then do this for us. No. All these things comes in law, because if this happens, people can also raise up arms in a do tomorrow. And government, you tell government, okay, government, this is what you do for us before we also stop. And mind you, it's people that are going, citizens of Nigeria, which the government swore to defend, that are going. So government does not need with your master's consent to declare war, because it's their people that are going. So the truth, you now say we will not do it again. and government foolishly allows that happens, goes into their head, which once happened before, and this so-called person ran away, and now the government look for another way to bring in this person. Now the person is here. The people are now saying, no, we are sorry, we will not do it again, we will stop this one, and what you just do, give this person back to us. You don't tell government what to do. Are you getting that? We are in a law-abiding. If you can say it's lawless, that is to you. If it's lawless, go to central bank and collect the money in central bank. If it's lawless, go to Aso Rock and tell them you want to see the president. If it's lawless, just walk to state CID, commissioner's office, knock without protocol that you want to see the commissioner, that we live in a lawless country. And they will tell you that law follows. So it doesn't because it's not good in some, and you want to start speaking for yourself. That's why I say pray for government not to have your time. Pray for government not to move the light to your direction. To say, okay, I'm sure if you want to know the power of government, you ask my brother, my friend Tony Kabaka, what happened to his hotel. If you want to know what is government, ask my father Bobby Zwa what happened to his hotel, to his shopping mall at Ring Road. What are you going to do? Government will tell you, if you don't have C of O in your property, it's illegal. That when you have C of O, everything is secure. Same government will tell you tomorrow that your C of O has been retrieved.
Same government.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Your C of O has been retrieved.
And destroyed.
And now, that property that you once had C of O, for security and state purpose, is not government's own. Government does not need 48 hours to tell you those things. What it took you over 3 months to acquire. Government, so just pray when you are following. Try your best to be law-abiding. The mistake Kanu made was to have jumped bail. We would not have been here now.
Yeah, discussing.
We would not have been here now. Because even if you now say they give stringent bail conditions tomorrow, people are now so scared to come up because what happened to the senator? I'm sure you are aware that the former CBA governor is supposed to be out now.
Yeah.
But people are, do you know we have people that can stand? But for now, no, why would I just go and keep myself? Please, make it do it, make day, make I do my day. I get it now. So, what is happening is that you cannot dictate to a government. You cannot. You cannot. No matter, you cannot. That I laugh with some of my friends who say they don't want to vote. Some say because of their religion, they belong to Jehovah's Witness. Some say vote does not count. They keep talking. And at the end, I let them talk after that. I will tell them, pray not to have problem with government. And my friend, Dr. Solomon, who has a big pharmacy at James Swart, he does not vote because he's Jehovah's Witness. But when government comes in for tax, for receipt or issue purpose, he calls on me. Then after helping pass away, do everything, I will not tell him, you see the essence of voting. But your religion tells you not to vote. Your religion did not also tell you not to pay these things you are paying.
All the taxes.
That these things you are doing, boys, government brings it. And you don't participate in who governs you. So you can see that you don't need somebody to tell you that what you are practicing is not even right. Because if it was right, you don't need to call me. To say, I don't be this receipt, I don't bring receipt, state government bring receipt, minister of this one bring receipt. You are confused because you don't participate in the process. So no matter how flawless or lawless it is, you must be part of it. Because they will one day sit down and tell you what does not benefit you or benefits you.
So you're saying right that they cannot challenge the government of the day if they really mean business with them?
No, don't say that now. I'm also warning you because of NBC rules. You cannot challenge the government. Government has also pinched you sometimes now. There's some things we said here.
Yes.
And we will leave and government will tell you, those people that said it, and you, when we come and say, please, government has dealt with us, is it not government? That's government. Was it the owner of my father that told you don't say it? Daddy will not tell us how to say it. But government will tell you that we see from tomorrow, we don't want any broadcaster to wear black cap again. You will not try it by next tomorrow when they put it tomorrow. You stop it and start maybe living your home like this or wearing face cap until government tells you again to say no, we are back to the black cap. So that is government. So you can see that you must not when you don't fight. I say pray not to have problem with government. I get it now. But people were saying no, you must do this. If he had not jumped bail, we will not be where we are today. The matter would have since been resolved. Maybe because maybe JTM or any issue would have given to him. I'm sure by so doing now for the very just now. Yes, and you can also see that maybe someone like Buhari when leaving would have granted amnesty to say go and see no more.
All right.
I get it now.
All right.
Look at the case of our brother from the southwest who was caught at
Kotonu,
yes. And he spent some time, cool time
in
there.
Jail.
Yeah. And now he has been freed. He's back. Did you hear him telling you government of he has taken them to court? I get it now.
I'll come back to you.
So
I'll come back to you.
And this is person that did not kill. This is person that did not go a wire. This person that did not declare war against government, telling you don't go home. You know what it takes if they tell you don't go. Individual telling you don't go. So it's fearful.
Over to you, you said you don't joke with government, don't pray to have issue with government because once they mean you, definitely something will come out of it. But let's take a look at the southeast. When all these things were happening, it wasn't turmoil. This same group of persons, though proscribed, were able to marshal out serious offensive antagonism against the government of Anambra State, Enugu State, Imo State, Abia State, even to the extent of going straight down to Ebonyi. The 5 eastern states were in jeopardy. Do you see that happening this time, knowing fully well that the Nnamdi Kanu is still in jail?
Listen, if you see those things happening in the eastern states, we might be thinking that those people have powers, that those people have strength to destabilize the states. I believe it was politics playing.
Politics?
Politics playing. When I say politics playing, because if the state government really want to fish out those people and deal with them like an outsider, I thought that issue would have been long done. He mentioned the community which Obasanjo went to attack in the Niger Delta. We saw what happened there. You heard what TMI sang about the situation. Say they kill my mama, they kill my papa, they kill everybody. That is government. So what was playing there was kind of politics that the eastern governors didn't want a confrontation with their own people that are agitating, which the federal government, without the state government, can really not really act much. Because the chief security officer is the state governor. So if the state government is kind of playing politics, you dance over here and dance over here, it will never be cleared. But if the government make a decision, as my brother said, that we want to flush these people out. We want no more IPOP in the southeast. Bring in the soldiers, bring in the forces, the special squad. The eastern part will be very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful if there's no politics involved.
But don't forget the Operation Python dance that took place in the East, where innocent persons were also affected.
When the Operation Python dance were going on and the rest, we also saw what happened. These people being killed too by the militaries or the fate of victims of gunshots and attacks are Nigerian citizens. So if you're fighting your own people, it's different like when you're fighting an outsider. If, for example, it's Nigerian and Cameroonians having a war, there's no sentiment, there's no politics. It is go there, flush them out of the borderline, and get everybody rid of. But when you're fighting your people, there's this amnesty mindset There's this common sense of not overforce, using of force. Even the military, they don't use overforce too. We have the issues of the bandit. We have the issues of the Boko Harams. We have the issues all around. It is not that the Nigerian military is not intelligent enough, it's not strong enough, it's not forceful enough to flush these people. But flushing these people, we are flushing Nigerian citizens as well. And it means they are innocent citizens that also like to be victims. Look at what happened in Kaduna recently. They were thought to be terrorists because they were cited above in the way they were, manners they were, they thought to be terrorists. And then innocent people were bombed and killed. These are Nigerians. So there is where the government handles the issue of internal affair differently from when you handle an external affair. So there's always politics involved when it comes to Nigerian internal affair. When you have to do with agitators, when you have to do with bandits, when you have to do with this so-called internal terrorists, there are sense that the military does not use the full force of power. We remember when you said just now the Operation Python, that we know when the army went in there to the east, that the state governors were even begging that the military should go. The elders of Ohanize were begging the military to leave. That is the citizens that are suffering. Go, these citizens that they were being victims, they were terrorists actually. They were terrorists because they have been proscribed as terrorists as long as you are a member of the indigenous group. They were being killed, they were being arrested, disappeared by the military, that the elders of the Igbos were now crying with state governors that the operation should be stopped. Why? That's politics. Because it has to involve with Nigerians. So sometimes it is not that the government does not have this power as we always tell, because after God is government, after government is gone, the triple G. When the government already take the gun to face you, what happens is death, 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 graves. Who are being buried? Nigerians, citizens as well. So there are certain things many people don't think. I tell you, when they were shouting, there will be no elections. There will be no election. I told you who's in here in this same studio. I said a week to the election in the East will be flooded with military, DSS, Navy, whatever you think. Election we hold peacefully, result will be counted, and nothing will happen. And what happened really? If they were so strong than the government, they were so superb as they believed to be, one day would have stopped the election happening in the Imo and Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi. All went peacefully well. Because they are going into hiding. Because the army has come out. All the special sport, all the blast sports. The government knows the blast sports. They know the red sports. If they turn their eye to look at you like this, does not mean they are dumb. Most things happening in the country, most things happening in the states, the police knows about it. The military knows it, because they have the intelligence. But they decide to overlook some like this. Does not mean they're blind to the reality. There's something that usually happens in Germany. I'll use Germany as an example. When a set of criminals operate in stations, in the train stations, like selling of drugs, doing some pickpocketing and all those things, the German watch them with cameras. They know their phone numbers. They tap their phones. They listen to them for 6 months. Do you think that the German government would have not been able to just arrest them immediately when they saw them selling the drugs? They first of all see, this crime you are community, is it to the general effect of the country that will destabilize the state? If they say it's not destabilizing, it's that maybe it's just some riffraff trying to make money, that makes some links of livelihood. They do like this for 6 months and be watching you. Then you did not stop. they will bust you. And they want to bust you, they won't bust the small one that is selling on the street. They will use through that small one to bust the big fish. Because once they get the big fish, the one in the street will not be able to sell anymore. Because he supplies. It's the same thing like the indigenous people of Biafra. If you see that most people being busted recently are not even the street commanders. They bust their big bucks. Because those ones are the ones sponsoring financially. Those ones are the ones for bringing the arms. Those ones are the ones giving the orders to the street. So when you get the boss, the street will be coordinated. So I don't just believe that, I don't believe they can do anything that will destabilize the state of Nigeria. They can only shout. They can make the same noise they've been making. But the problem, the people of the Southeast will continue to suffer their own self-inflicted call liberation that has no means.
All right. You end with a particular phrase that the people of the Southeast will continue to suffer from their own liberators in court now, so to speak. Obaraye, how do we prevent this suffering? Because that is the core thing right now. People from the Southeast, because as it stands, many of them will suffer. Businesses will be affected. Economic hardship will not become the order of the day. Should there be another Operation Python dance in the East? Or do you see it coming?
No.
If it persists?
No. You see all these resisting boys down to bad leadership. Don't let us shy away from the truth.
The East.
Our leaders, right from Aso Rock to the Senate, to Rep, to governors, to House of Assembly, local government, down to the councillors, they failed. They've not put food on our table. If there was food on our table, I'm not sure this will be happening. Our leaders play politics virtually with everything. They play politics with it. Was it not these states that people are shouting now? Election was held in those states. Campaign were held in those states. And those are supposed to be security threats where they will say it will not hold. But if during the election things were peaceful, how come you cannot continue it on that template?
On that template.
I get it. So the problem is that our leaders have failed. But we will not say because our leaders have failed, we should take arms and start fighting our people. That's stupidity. That is, it's abnormal. You cannot say because our leaders have failed and tell you our mothers, our fathers not to go to work on a Monday when they're supposed to go to work and put food on their own table this time. Government has failed to put food on their table, and now they want to also struggle to put food on their own table. You will say, no, don't do it. So you are now so worse than the government.
Yeah.
What you are supposed to do is to help everybody make sure everything stabilizes. You will not expect now that companies should be booming in those places where you shoot guns. If you say because the leaders have failed to say we must spoil everything, who are you spoiling it for? Your own people. There's no aborigines there. There are no other people there. You are spoiling for your people. So we must settle down to say, okay, how are we going to do it? Why not these people fighting? Why not all of them participate in government? What stops Nnamdi Kanu for contesting for Senate? What stops him for continuing to House of Rep? What stops him for contesting as the governor of a state? Yeah. To make sure that those things that you are supposed to see or do, you put them right. With the momentum and force he has, I'm sure if he comes out to contest as a governor, he will win. Definitely. So if he wins, he will not make, okay, I want to make the state I govern now the signature of all eyes. So people will not say, if Kanu can do this, it can also happen here. There are ways, there's no way, you cannot, there's no way I can digest it or buttress it to say fight against government. Never. I've seen government fighting against people. I came out from my house at Iriwi in the morning on a Thursday or on a Wednesday. And I sat down where I was sitting and somebody said, you know how they go out? They say, don't come out tomorrow. I said, how, where? Then I called you and started searching, and next I saw circular that from 12 a.m. or you cannot go in and go out of so area. And my area was involved. So I did not take any clothes away from the house. Nothing. I just like this. I have to go back home. We sat down around 6, and it took over 2-3 hours for armored vehicles to start moving in a commando style. And they started their walk around 6-7, ended it the next day. I did not. What I was saying was lizard flies. I did not.
Government.
There was no. It was not period. They didn't say next week. Just like I sat here and I'll tell you, if you are coming back home, don't come.
Don't come.
And I quickly ran to beat that time. And because I sat at my own clothes, those who were sitting like
they
this.
watch it.
See, I'm not continuously. Oh, hours. And the next thing we hear, go, houses going down, go. Nobody. It was lizard and rats, I was saying. After government left, was I coming out? Hey! But you saw government, it has started there now. I hear you want to when government don't. So don't allow government. Take your time. Participate in government. Think of it if that vicinity had representative in government. They will take their pride and vote to their representative. Oh, we say no, my people must be compensated, my people must be this, my people must be that. They will. So what Kanu would have done, what the other guy would have done, not staying in Sweden. Come back home, participate in government, make sure that the governor that is coming is a member of their meet, as in one of you, who you will give conditions to say, now, school in our state will be free. Now, every Monday, instead of sit at home, government will clean the gutters, government will do this for the people. You make the place attractive and enviable to everybody. Not say, you must do this, and the people that are dying are your people. Who are you trying to? The government will just sit down and fold their hands just the way my brother is doing now, and watch you kill Nigerian citizens because you are Odunga or something. No, government will not allow it. Right. But if he decide to contest today and he's a senator, he cannot be detained like this now. Are you getting it now? Because he's a member of the government. You cannot say because you are a member of the government, you don't know how to steal before, you want to start stealing now. Never. Now the person who is good for house, they good for meeting. Who not good for house? If you read this meeting, that same character will carry a meeting. Not be meeting, one can change down. No. So if you are good in agitation to say you want sanity in government, you want this in government, be in government, be in the team. Think of it if the brother had won. If Obi had won, whatever they now want can be passed to him. So he didn't win now. You want to? Don't you know there's future even for you or him? If we all spoil down, pull down Nigeria, where are we going to govern? Where are we going to say yes, IPOB? So there are things we should not just take for granted to say no. It must be my turn. It must be this. If you don't go, I will die. I will die. We not agree. We not agree. We not agree. We not agree. Now government let you sing that more.
Not let you sing.
Government let you sing that more. Don't say it. Oh, the government tell you don't go. Don't go.
Don't go. Okay.
No, don't go. I have seen people that go. My late younger brother, Osaido Koba Yotutu. And my friend, comrade Sekola Idopayi, and some other comrades, they went to NDDC Saple Road. And after talking, the meeting went into brick wall. And they went for a protest the next day, and they blocked the road. And within a week, government invited them to come and ask them, why did they block the road? You didn't block your house, you blocked the road. Why? And they went to court. From court, they took them to State CID. From State CID, they took them to Oko. So on 2 3 occasions, I will go there to see that. They spent over 3-4 months there. I will sit there and see to them. I say, why you not follow us? I say, nah, government. Now you are here. Can you fight yourself out here now?
At all.
You cannot. If you leave here excusing, The government charged them for treason.
Which is
That's
a serious
Abiola's
crime.
case. Abiola's case. That's what government charged them for. If not for the grace of some people also in government, who have said, they suffered enough. I think they learned their lessons. I think they cannot come out. They were released on a Friday evening after close of job. Government.
That close of evil court.
Yeah, nobody. Government has said, bring them. And they came out. I never saw my brother again on the street till he died. He respected government. So there are things you don't just joke with because government is quiet. Because government does not talk. You say, look at Fubawa, see me in Port Harcourt. He knows what is. He has had the power now. He has had the power. Learning like the master. So you don't. It's government. You don't go and study government. If you study government,
thank you, Brian. Thank you.
People not to do what government say don't do.
All right. Well, you're going to have the last of this discussion. Samuel Igato, aka Ras, what do you advise the proscribed members of IPOP to do? People also from the south, is even the governors. What should they do this time? Because it's like agitation is beginning to creep up again.
Well, I will advise the people of the southeast to remain peaceful, no matter what. And as my brother earlier said, there are different ways to agitate for liberation. And when you want to agitate for liberation, don't let it be violence. There are legal means, there are publication means of good news. Tell the people what you really want. Because if you really said Nigeria is a zoo, as they call us, that's the people of indigenous people, they call Nigeria zoo.
No, nothing, it was Nnamdi that made that comment.
Yes, it's the same people. It's the same people. If you say Nigeria is a zoo, you should be able to tell Nigerians what else will you do otherwise. That
to
make
make it
Nigeria
better.
not to be a zoo. That make Nigeria a place where you can accept you as your place. Because if you look at all the agitations, I've never seen any idea. I've never seen any new opinions. I've never seen any new brains in bringing this is what we want to do in Nigeria. This is what we do different for the Southern East, to boost the business of the Southeast, to boost the people of the Southeast, to make them a better place to live. There's no single agitation words that have to do with those things. All the agitation is, we want freedom. We want to be separated. We want to kill, to be separated. You don't do things that way. And with force, you cannot force government. You can't force government. After God is government, they make the decisions that applies to our lives. They didn't make the decisions that will apply to their own lives. So there's no way you can force the government against the will. Those days are gone where people use revolution to achieve success in freedom. In the modern days we have, even in Europe, any other countries worldwide, you hardly achieve success through revelation. You achieve success through dialogue, through appealing. Because if you have done it in a peaceful way, that you show some kind of development in the Southeast, because like now they have hundreds of thousands of youth recruited that are in camps. Why can't those youth every Monday, as my brother says, comes out forcefully, clean up the whole environment? We want Nigeria to be clean. Encourage the business people, that the Southeast people, that the other Nigerians will see that these people are even helpful. They are doing a lot of good things. That also there will be a little bit of love towards them. It's not, you can even change your name and people will accept you into a political party. Join in the political race with your ideology or the good things you have in your mind for Nigerians. That is the best way to achieve a liberation that I personally would say it is a good one for the people. It is worth thinking of. That even some South states will even be willing, when they saw those development you are attracting, they see those things you are doing, we even were willing to join the group. But like in this situation, everybody is running away because all they see is violence that come with them. The Niger Delta, I say we cannot be with them because we don't want to be part of that violence. The South said we don't want to join because of the violence. So they should be able to think of something positive. Nnamdi Kanu, I will only tell the Southeast people, will only be free if the government of the day decide to grant him an amnesty. If they believe through the court of law, Nnamdi Kanu will go bail. I tell you, listen, it's a dream that will never come true. Because one thing you should know, when the government has called you enemy of the government, enemy of the state, even the judge that will judge for you will judge against you. Do you believe Emefiele, if it's not a national issue, would I not be free by now? Do you know how many people died through the policy of Emefiele? Do you know how many people suffered due to the policy? That I myself, I pray she never get out of the prison. Many of our mothers are praying she never come out of the prison because it emitted suffering upon Nigerians. The same thing. Nnamdi Kanu meted suffering upon the eastern people, but it is upon Nigerians as well. So such people, they are enemy of the nation. They deserve to be kept where they belong to, the job God done. That is my belief. And there's no amount of agitation in the east that is going to come up. If the government is ready, as my brother said, to face them, to put the torchlight on them, Oga, listen, many of them will around enter Cameroon.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, because I was thinking about this issue when I read through the verdict. And I also listened to the cries of the proscribed IPOB. And I went back again to play back some of the things this man said. Some of the things I just can't say it on it, but prominent offenders like, burn the zoo.
Yeah, burn the way down.
Kill. They started mentioning some names in the East. Go there, the police, this one, do this, do that. If you hear those kind of things from his podcast, as a sitting president, as a sitting governor, even as a House of Rep member, as a senator, you might not want to listen to him, just wanting to remain where he is. If you think I'm lying, unless they pulled it down already on the social media, just go listen. People of the Southeast, take it easy. IPOB, according to the government, hasn't proscribed and remains proscribed. If your children are trying to enlist into the ranks to start causing trouble, warn them. Because what Madali said, if government chooses to face you, you can go ask people in Zamfara, in Meduguri, in Borno, they're not finding it easy. It's like, a swarm thing. You can go and ask the community. If government should face them and they say curfew, and because you want to prove that you are one freedom fighter, and you end up becoming a casualty, who loses at the end? Think about it. Allow the law to take its course. Let's see how the case will go. Let's see what his answers would be. Some are saying on health grounds, they have doctors there. If it's ordered to want to treat him, no problem. Because I don't think they'll let him go because of what he did. So still on the same health ground, he jumped bail.
Yeah.
And Ayin Naya Baribe, senator from that particular area, was in big mess. I don't see anybody coming out to stand at a shorty for this, but unless if someone wants to risk it, I don't know who want to do it. Calm down. Let the law take its full course. He has cases to answer. Let him go and answer. Right now, we'll go on a break. We'll return. We'll dive into Edo 2024. The issues bordering on primaries. Is it going to be about the anointed candidates? Is it going to be about the one with the fattest bank account? Or the people's choice should prevail? Don't go away. We'll be right back.